So in this video, we'll talk about Agile and Waterfall models. So these are the two distinct approaches for software development with its different methodologies, strengths, and weaknesses. So Waterfall model is a linear and sequential software development approach where each phase must be completed before the next phase begins. The typical phases include requirement analysis, which we gather all requirements. Next is system design, creating architectural and detailed design of the system. Next is implementation, we code and we test the unit. Next is integration and testing, so we verify that the components are working together. Next is deployment, releasing the software to users. And lastly is the maintenance, addressing bugs and making improvements. So these are the strengths of the waterfall model. We have the clear structure, that each phase is well defined, making it easier to manage and document. Next is the predictability. Since requirements are set upfront, timelines and budgets are more predictable. Next is good for large projects. It works well for projects with well-defined scope and requirements. Predictability mo. Last is easier to manage. So because everything is planned in advance, projects managed is more straightforward. So weaknesses of waterfall model. First is inflexibility. So once a phase is completed, revisiting it is costly and time-consuming.
That's why I like.
Second is slow adaptation to changes. So requirements cannot easily be changed once development starts.
Late
Late testing. So errors are often discovered late in the process, increasing the cost of fixing them. And lastly is not ideal for uncertain performance. If customer needs are unclear, this model struggles to accommodate changes.
So the second model is Agile model. So the Agile model is an iterative and flexible approach where development is divided into small increments called sprints. So Agile follows the principles from the Agile Manifesto, emphasizing collaborations, customer feedbacks, and adaptive planning. So the key Agile methodologies are Scrum. It focuses on short sprints or 1 to 4 weeks with regular reviews. Then the second one is Kanban. It uses a visual board to track progress and workflow. And last, the Extreme Programming or XP prioritizes high-quality coding and frequent testing. So the strength of Agile model. Number one is flexibility, where Agile allows for changes in requirements throughout the project. Number two, it is faster delivery. So frequent iteration means that working software is delivered faster. Customer collaborations. It has a continuous feedback that ensures that the product meets the user's expectations. Then, the early bug detection. It is continuous testing, helps identify and fix bugs early in development. And the last one is, it is a better risk management. So, since Agile adapts quickly, so risk can be mitigated more effectively. And lastly, the weaknesses of Agile model. So, wherein it requires close collaboration. So, Agile teams need constant communication, which can be challenging and also difficult to predict cost and time because requirements involved, budgeting and scheduling are harder to estimate. Not ideal for large-scale projects without clear structure. Managing large team and projects can be chaotic if Agile is not implemented properly. And also the last one is the dependency on skilled teams, wherein Agile requires experienced developers and active customer participation.
So next is the comparison table of Waterfall and Agile. So features. So in approach, Waterfall model has a sequential and structured.
while in Agile model, iterative and flexible.
In flexibility, Waterfall model has low.
And Agile has high flexibility.
Customer involvement in Waterfall model is minimal, mainly at the start.
In Agile naman, continuous feedback and collaboration.
Next is change management. So in Waterfall model, is difficult and costly.
But in Agile, it is easily adaptable.
In project size suitability, in Waterfall works best for large, well-defined projects.
And also, in Agile, it is ideal for small to medium-sized evolving projects.
In time to market, Waterfall is longer.
While in Agile, it is faster.
Next is testing phase. So in Waterfall, done after development is complete.
While in Agile, it is continuous throughout the development.
And lastly, in risk management, Waterfall model is high risk due to late stage testing.
While in Agile, it has a lower risk due to frequent iteration.
So, in conclusion, use Waterfall if the project has well-defined requirements, minimal expected changes, and clear timelines. Example, government or regulatory projects.
While in Agile, use Agile if the project requires continuous updates, user feedbacks, and rapid delivery of working features. Example of this is the mobile app development, startups, or software with evolving requirements.
That's all.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.